Welcome back, Bro League. We have a new matchup tonight. And we have somebody new in the booth, too. If y'all would like to welcome God of Defeat.
Hi, welcome. Thank you for having me.
Yes. The teams that are playing tonight is Blind Bandits and Night Owls. Both teams had a rocky start early in the season, but they came out to be pretty strong teams to be able to make it into the majors. So this should be an interesting game. Something I got some insider info from the team captains of Blind Bandits once. He said that after the last game that they had, they are looking to learn from the mistakes and get redemption tonight. And hopefully they can take it as a learning experience and become more flexible during games. And they're pretty confident about tonight. But that's all I got. We can take a look at these rosters really quick. So on the Blind Bandit side, we have Lawnsboro, Comets, Tiny Taco, Hit Draco, and Toast. But Toast will be subbed out by Polo tonight.
And we got Polo in the lobby.
Yeah. Do you want to do the Night Owls?
Yeah, so our Night Owls, with our team captain, Rybo, backed up by Mac D, Karma, DNA, and the commissioner himself, Mosey. Looking forward to seeing how they stack up tonight. It's definitely going to be an interesting map trio if you want to go and lay out the battlefields that we're going to be facing on.
I might want to do the bracket first. I just realized people may want to see the bracket before we get into the map bands, right?
Could be.
Yes, this is where we're at. This is what we're looking like so far, y'all. I'm not really too sure how it plays out as to who wins.
So this is the first match of the losers bracket, right? So the winner of this one goes up against the winner of the second losers bracket pairing between Roias and Vivid Polar. And I assume the winner of that matchup is going to be going up against the finalist of the upper bracket, either Puppies and Kittens or Team Conspiracy, for a grand final. So I'm definitely interested to see how that turns out and who prevails.
Likewise, it's gonna get really spicy these next couple weeks. All right, so be ready. Now we can go on to the map bands. We're going to Clubhouse first. Second map is Villa. And the third map is going to be Cafe.
So all three of these maps are very team-heavy maps, especially when we're talking Cafe. Villa, as you have to extend across, the top floor, which is your primary played bomb sites. And Clubhouse is very in meta, like everyone kind of knows what they're doing. There's only a couple of ways to attack, but it still requires a lot of coordination. This is going to be a really good test for both teams to see, how they've improved, not just in their individual skill over the season, but also in their team skill combined, as we move through each of these maps. In my opinion, getting progressively more team-based.
Yeah, well, that was insight that I was not going to offer, so I appreciate that.
I got you.
So it looks like the players are getting a little antsy in the old chat, so we're gonna go ahead and get started, making sure everybody's on the right side because people are doing switcheroos. Okay, starting, and here we go.
So we got Blind Bandit starting off on attack. Do you know who chose sides? If I'm not mistaken, it was Blind Bandit's map pick. So it should have been Night Owls choosing sides. Them choosing defense would make sense in that scenario there. Clubhouse can be kind of a 50-50 map these days. I think it tends to lean attacker favored, at least up in like Pro League. But you know, as we well know in Bro League, basically everything's defender sided, so it tends to be the favored side to start on.
Yeah. That could just be a typical good old ban, or that's a target ban on their own team on wands.
Thatcher's just classic.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a lot of utility in Nile that you can get out early. What are they talking about in chat?
Oh, they're telling Wands that he can't have any feet today. So
I thought they were messaging me. So I was like, you know, because I also go by defeat. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, they're telling him no feet.
So this is interesting to both ban a Thatcher and a Kaid. You can Thatcher trick Kaid, and Kaid doesn't really counter that. You really only want to ban one or the other, depending on what you're trying to use. Mira ban is also kind of useless. Like there's only a couple of spots that Mira is effective on this map, and I would have liked to see possibly a more actively used operator get that ban, but
Unless it was just like one of
it could
those
just be a comfort pick.
like safe pick bans where you can make sure and ensure you get the operator you want to use.
Yeah, I would not be surprised. We're gonna start off CCTV cache, classic first bomb site. It is interesting that we have a Rook coming on the board who hasn't really been in meta for a while. But I'm interested to see what he can use that 2-time scope for. You know, possibly a Rafters player.
Maybe.
On the attacking side, as always, we have Arfinka, kind of just expected to be permanently there. And a 0 is going to be most likely their flank watch. You got basically 6 cams that you can put down for flank, so insanely useful utility there. They have both Mav and Ace. You know, as Clubhouse tends to be, you want at least 2 hard breaches, and Maverick both enables another hard breach as well as a hard breach himself that can partner with something like a sledge or even a gridlocked secondary shotgun to be a very effective way to trick that wall quickly.
We're missing one. The sledge spawned all the way over here.
I assume that they spawned over there to get the default cams, maybe?
Maybe. I don't know what Prolo...
we already have one down. I assume a spawn peek from Karma. No, it looks like he was just crossing.
That's unfortunate.
Crossing into secret. MacD should be able to pick him up here because they aren't trying to thirst the kill. Actually, I don't even think Oncepro knows that he downed Karma in this situation. It was probably just a pre-fire through that window that caught him on a rotate. The wall's already breaching, so they have breach wall open in less than a minute. So they're making some really good time on this. Unfortunately, with only a bandit on the board, you know, Maverick tricking that bottom line goes really quickly. Got 2 people stacked up on the other side of the map, and absolutely no one on Blind Bandits has spawned over there, or is even contesting that side. So right now, it's closer to like a 3v5. Unless, might be a pick here. Yep, can you see him? He's on your screen.
Oh my.
Oh, easy. And he didn't even get the pick. DNA catches it from inside of garage.
Wow.
This might be a contested angle here between DNA and the man outside of garage door. They do have diffuser down, so he's going to have to rotate for that. If I was DNA, I would actually move out of this bottom garage spot. You kind of have that pinch between the Maverick holes that you know they're going to be rotating for because of the diffuser down and the garage single door. So not the best place to be. Almost gets caught out, but I think his wisdom is prevailing. No, his wisdom did not prevail. And he runs straight into the swamp and gets taken out by Wandsboro. We have some under rotate holes opening up. Polo drops by Rybo as an early pick. I guess pre-execute pick would be a better way to say it. They already have Rafters control. They have breach control. with the smokes from Wands, bro, we should be able to see a plant going down here shortly if they can get a rotate into this wall with the ace. If he could open up the hard wall, maybe. He does have one more. That is an unfortunate use of an ace charge. Because now they're going to either have to run through the soft wall, which is exposed, run through the breach, which is what it looks like Draco's going to do. Oh, and he makes it through. He is not going for plant, though, as he's caught out by a C4. He doesn't plant inside the breach. Instead, he goes for the kills. And unfortunately, now they have to contest this on top red, and they lose it. Oh, no! 1v1. Can Tiny pull it back?
Oh.
And he cannot, with not knowing that the last was in construction on his left side. He took the 50-50 fight and lost it. At that time, you don't really have the time to go for the plant because it's 7 seconds and he'd be at 0-0. So he had to go for the kill and just lost the 50-50 in the direction that he would be looking. That is an unfortunate timing.
Wow. A lot can happen in a matter of like 15 seconds.
Yeah, no, that was an explosive entry. Unfortunately, right, what I would like to see was the diffuser rotated to our Rafters player. If the ace could have opened up the single wall in Rafters as an easy walk-in to get the plant down on default. Instead, Hit Draco jumped in as their fink, as their entry, and had to try and cross top red and cross the holes on Cash, which is almost suicide. And if he had just planted either directly inside a breach or rotated that diffuser, I 100% see this going in the way of blind bandits.
I mean, that's kind of where, like, if you're taking the rounds as they go, right, as a team, and you, like, I know my guys, like, we're always like, okay, well, where did we go wrong? What happened? Let's start from the beginning to the end.
Yeah.
When did we lose the grip? And if Blind Bandits is able to figure that out on the fly and adjust and acclimate or do more of or less of, right? Like,
we can only see how they improve from here, and if if they can correct those mistakes next time. I think honestly they probably lost it all the way back when the Maverick was solo on the other side of the garage trying to Maverick hold that, and he had diffuser, which dropped diffuser in a really contested area.
Yeah.
If they had just left that in front of garage single door and a counter spawn peek by DNA, Hit Draco onto DNA. I'm not sure where that was. I think it was through the wall of CC.
CC, yeah.
It must have been a punch hole, possibly.
Potentially.
It could have also been secret window that was contested.
Oh no.
Oh, Karma just ratting on main stairs, catches a solo push by Tiny Taco, no drones used, and is punished. We do kind of have a weird split push where they're not exactly pushing from one side of the map or the other. Instead, they're trying to take like an entire top control all at once from every side. And that's a very feast or famine strategy because they don't have the work of their teammates to pinch out these roamers that at least Karma was roaming up there by himself, and I assume it still is somewhere up the top floor.
Where is Karma? Yeah.
They do have nomads.
He's still up here. And they did nomad off from the main.
They did. It was a late nomad. It was kind of far down on the stairs, and they might get punished for that. Unfortunately, Wansboro drops from MacD. I'm not sure from where, but that would be the cap can. He was playing close to sites. A C4 takes out Comets. I assume MacD was taken out through the hash, actually. Comets is taken down, and we're about to have a contest here on main stairs. The air jab goes off. He does not swing it.
Hello.
Instead, they both get taken out as MacD pushes up main stairs at the perfect timing to trade out. Oh, and Comets gets the refrag because MacD gets over aggressive. And now he's in a 1v3. He does have time to work with 55 seconds on the clock. He should still have 3 flashbangs in pocket. Unfortunately, no drones, though. They are all out. He most likely far away. Does have diffuser. This is doable if he can start isolating his ones.
Everybody's back on site, too.
Everyone's back on site. He's going to have to push down main stairs here. With 30 seconds, he is running out of time. Those flashbangs will help a lot, but he has given his away his position by shooting this front door. And it looks like he might just be taking like a... oh, he's not taking a timeout. He's going for it.
Ooh, them
Can he swing these feet
footholds.
holes? No,
Oh,
he
the
cannot.
Capcan
And the
trap.
Capcan trap catches him. He was kind of screwed either way. That Capcan trap, as well as the crossfire from Moto and the footholes, actually a three-way crossfire from also the swing on
Jeez.
Church. There was no winning that for him, unfortunately, and they were picked off because they didn't have any teamwork or tradability, and they didn't swing off of that Nomad air jab when it went off to pick up the freebie on Karma when he walked down main stairs. So just a couple of little mistakes snowballing this round into a Night Owls win. Good for them.
Ooh. It looks like Night Owls has got some team synergy going tonight. Cause that top and below like combination, I just like that worked really well.
It really did. They, I don't know if that was like communicated and they were like, hey, I'm pushing down main stairs, I'm going to need a refrag, 3, 2, 1 push, or if it just happened to be the timing lined up with both them trying to make solo plays. But either way, it was really well executed, and I'm hoping that signifies that the team is really well coordinated. But anyway, as we move up to Gym Bedroom, so far they're not electing to do a cash hold, which is surprising to me. It looks like they're kind of bunkering down with these castle barricades.
Oh, maybe.
Oh no, okay, they are opening up into cash.
Just a late setup.
Yeah, it's just a late setup. I don't believe that Khan's single wall is reinforced, so someone's gonna have to grab that. Looks like Castle's gonna be grabbing that. They do not have.
Okay,
They do not have the 5 reinforcements for cash. They can't do a full lockout.
Well,
So either they do it rotate to top red, or they just try and contest it with one less wall. We're gonna see how this works out. It's gonna be a very interesting setup either way.
well, they've Lion Bandits did a full spawn on Jacuzzi side, so they have some time to finish their setup over there in cash.
They did, yeah. This is a very jacuzzi heavy attack. Tiny is on so.
I'm sorry.
Jacuzzi heavy, as you do. Tiny is out there on suicide balk by himself, holding the CC window, waiting for someone to peek highway. Not sure what that nade's actually trying to do. That would be going down into kitchen. Maybe trying to nade out someone playing below for a C4, but I don't think they have any C4s on the board that are playing in kitchen. Interesting use of utility. The flank drone gets shot.
Or around.
So they have all the castle barricades open towards highway and suicide balcony. They do have someone watching the CC peak, and they have Logi and hot tub control. This could be a very easy run-in gym plant. They do have smokes on the board and a Wansboro on the Ying to take the space. I would like to see an execute here in the next 20 seconds if possible. With 5 people on the board, this is the perfect time. And they don't have a rotate into bathroom. This is a perfect execute for Blind Bandits if they can pull it off. Fortunately, Tiny Taco does go down early, and that's their guy that was watching the CC peak. But Night Owls has... Ooh, okay. Night Owls overextends as Karma gets taken out by Hit Draco down in kitchen. Night Owls have also messed up with their lack of rotate, so this gym take is much more viable. They have no ADSs on the board, so there are nades available, but only in the hands of Comets. Ooh. We don't see... Comets is taken out, solo pushing down in bar, and those... Oh, I'm sorry. Other way around.
Yeah.
Yeah, Comets wins the fight, solo pushing down in bar, and the plant is going down in gym. They should be able to stick this, and now it's a 4v2 post plant. Our Frost is lost trying to rotate through, but they now have to restick the plant. Oh, this is a 1v1.
It is a
if he just pushes, he can win this. MacD? The prone angle, and he loses it to the prone angle by Comets. Well played, trading out that 4v2 into a win. It was a little closer than we like to see it, but they got it in the end.
That was, again, a very quick, like 10-15 seconds.
Yeah, they stalled out a lot in the mid round, right? They had the execute set up and just didn't go for it. And because of that, it got very dicey in the end, but it was and chaotic. But they pulled it out. So, congrats to Blind Bandits.
Have you got any predictions?
Honestly, no, I'm not as familiar with these teams. I'm just looking for a really close game. Hopefully, a map 3 and just good siege across the board. I'm a very
Trying to burn me out again.
I'm a very unbiased caster when it comes to this. As you know, I was on Team Squirrel and we got taken out early because we were a meme team. But I just want to see some good siege.
Yeah. What is chat saying?
Mostly just asking who's casting.
Oh.
By rock and roll. Dilly's over here answering. Yeah, just call out expert and god defeat. Bappo says I was too slow. Lol. Good job, Bappo. I guess.
Too slow about what?
Getting the info out there. Who was casting?
Oh.
You know, hey, better late than never. All right, you know.
Y'all would have known the answer right away if y'all were here as soon as the notification went out. All right.
Dang, just roasting.
I'm gonna call it out.
Imagine being slow. Okay, just don't be slow next time. All right, get your watches fixed.
Oh, remember.
Bro League is really should be first priority in your entire life. Okay, everything else is secondary.
To be honest, yeah.
Alright, so we have a cash CC hold again. I'm hoping that Blind Bandits can capitalize on fixing these mistakes that we saw last time. They've already improved by giving the diffuser to Tiny Taco, which is their ace player, instead of the Maverick that's on the other side. They do have to contest this Raptors player that they have no pressure on Garage single door, so this Raptors player is just playing free up by the single reinforced wall.
Here's that pressure you're talking about.
They are pressuring the garage single door. And fun fact, if you're peeking from the right side of that door, your shadow actually always gives you away before you actually peek. So if you ever contest Raptors, you always want to do it from the left side.
Ooh.
Oh, and Raptors is taken out early as he wide swings across the exposed angle. He's only downed though.
Oh, well,
no,
he's dead.
He's confirmed.
He's dead.
Yep. They have garage control both top and bottom. There's one in swamp pinged out, known. Feet are shot, and there's a lot of damage done on the defense. A little bit of utility damage.
Every point matters.
This execute should be going down in 4 seconds here. Yeah, they already ran across. Tiny should be, yep, he made it across nice and safe. He's gonna default plant down. They do not have a C4.
Nah,
they do have a C4 to stop this.
My god, it's chaotic.
Right. In the 1v3, Karma has to pull this off.
I would think he would go up red, put some pressure,
He has very little time to work with. I would recommend, either red or Raptors. He's lost red control, and Hit Draco shuts him down from Raptors.
Oh. Well.
This was well played.
They just overwhelmed him on site.
Yeah, so they corrected the exact things that I was talking about with giving your hard breach that is closer to the execute the diffuser, even though he still had to run across those exposed angles and they didn't have smokes for it. They did play it smart and waited till the man advantage favored them so they could trade it out. At that point, it was just a matter of the Finka swinging and winning his fights. And once the Finka swung and won his ones, there was really nothing that could be done. It was also unfortunate that they had the pre-placed C4 already down, because I didn't see that going through
I didn't see that going off
through the air.
But
yeah, so it must have been pre-placed below, and they had someone below. So I don't know how he didn't see it or hear it to shoot it. But
may have just not thought about it. It's like one of those if it's not there mid round and you don't think about it late round, it's
very much, especially during executes. That's when the most mistakes happen for any attacking team. You have so many people trying to calm and call, trying to coordinate their own little pocket strats with 2-3 of the players. So if you have 5 people alive, comms get really crazy. A lot of mistakes happen.
That ain't no joke.
Little stuff like a C4, on the floor, or even if it was sailing through the air and they just missed it, just gets overlooked. And it's unfortunate, but that's Siege, and can only be improved upon.
We have Karma out here back up top again. And Karma's the only roamer.
Oh, he watched him go across and did not shoot. I like this angle. They're not using it to impact trick. Instead, he's trying to shoot the elbow. I'm hoping he looks at the other corner. He's about to lose this. He's about to lose this.
Oh, boy.
Ooh, but he gets out just in time, only losing about half of his health.
That's more than half.
So it's recoverable, but it is definitely unfortunate compared to what could have been caught, what could have been on that angle. So chat's talking about the LMG crutch and how they can't wait for it to be nerfed. Honestly, I don't know. I go back and forth. I think LMGs are not really the problem. They've only been highlighted because ARs have been nerfed so much. But that's just me. I would prefer to see ARs buffed than LMGs nerfed. The attack is already so weak as it is.
I haven't bothered to clear out Karma, knowing that he was roaming like crazy 2 rounds ago. So this could and might bite them in the behind.
They do have a double push-up coming from Lounge. No, Karma decides to actually drop off and has to take down the castle barricade, denying their own utility. But Rybo's already in bar. He's flanking their entire execute. They have no air jabs down to stop this.
Oh my. Oh my.
If Rybo goes big here, it is 100% doable that Night Owls takes this.
Things are happening.
Yep. Yeah, they're collapsing onto this execute.
Oh my.
Rybo goes big up top. They have lost their top control, and it is an easy defuse and a flawless round by Night Owls. Unfortunately, what we see happening in these scenarios, right, is they get a little bit of map control, and they decide to go for a fast execute without having the proper post-plant strategy already in place. They didn't have the air jabs down. They didn't have the person on main stairs to watch the flank through bar. They didn't have the drones set up or someone on those drones because they were all alive. And because of that, as soon as plant goes down, all 5 defenders get up, start moving, get a 5-man pinch, and people just start dropping like flies because there's nowhere safe to play in sight. They didn't set up any cover for themselves. There's no OSA shields, there's no Monties to play behind. There's absolutely nothing to prevent them from just being absolutely ripped apart.
Right. Yeah. Well, let's take a look at the scoreboard. Hate Drago's at 7 comments and Wands is at 4. Tiny Taco at 1 and Polo is yet to get on the board. And with Night Owls, Rybo and MacD are at 6. Karma Sutra is at 5. Mosey's at 1. And Danae is at 2.
Yeah, it is fairly well balanced across the board. We see some people that are in more frag heavy roles, both at the top of the leaderboard and at the bottom, which it's sign of like the team's preference where they want people that are going to be taking those fights and are most likely to die. Actually, like a lot of people, I don't know what your opinions are on this, Amber, but my opinion is if you have a newer player, I would actually prefer to keep them on a more aggressive role and have them die and get on camps early than to put them on a support operator where their entire goal is to stay alive, which is really hard to do in Siege. Especially if you don't know what angles are exposed and you don't know how to look for C4s and that kind of stuff. And so you don't want them losing that utility early to like a spawn peak. So instead put them, like a Polo there on a sledge that you don't really mind if they're taken out early. And they can get on camps and feed you information and it's still a very useful member of the team.
Ooh.
What are your opinions on new players and where they should be playing? A nice pick from Breach. I don't know why they're peeking Tuck, but
it's a dangerous bold thing to do.
Yeah, it's not ideal. They are putting up their flank drones for bomb crush. Well done. But why are you peeking Breach?
Oh, everybody has their preference. They need. I suppose Karma's future's not really bothering them, but I would hope that like they've gathered that this heavy roam that Karma's doing is in for like the long run. You know, like that.
And with only one ADS protecting him, Draco takes out DNA, and they have Raptor's control. Almost gets shot from Coke Box, is able to get past it, heal himself back up. Ribo's downed in sight, and MacD is going big below, catching the guy on Raptors and has Diffuser down. This is 100% winnable as he swings back into Night Owls, and he takes out another one coming from stock. This is doable. He does lose control of Defuse as he runs back into the shield, and now it's completely over. He's back in the Blind Bandits territory. The 2v1, Karma had no chance as he's taken out early.
Wow.
Yeah, unfortunately, Karma was on the other side of the map and had a good roam, but he wasn't really pressuring the attack at all through bar and stage, and so they were able to take that ground, ground of the garage side and of the breach side, capitalizing it, and he just had to rotate back to site, but unfortunately it was too late. He was already in man disadvantage. I would like to see MacD stay below and swamp, cover Rafters stairs that he had Diffuser on, make them chase him, but instead he falls up red, tries to get behind the shield, loses the fight, and that's just an unfortunate round. We do get to see a 3-3 split on the half, though.
Yeah.
So what are your predictions going into the second half? How do you think this is going to end?
I think I really don't know, like I'm trying to find the right words. Sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. Take your time.
Like I feel like if we see like the team synergy we saw in the beginning first couple of rounds with Night Owls for their attacks, I think they can do it. Because
I would like to point out, before this round starts, we have an Amaru on the board and an Ashe from DNA and Karma. This may be a either quick execute or just something spicy. I would keep a look either towards CC window or even main stairs window. It's going to be main stairs window as DNA jumps in. He's going to take that space real quick with a drone, I assume, clearing for him. There's one in Master. He knows about it. It's pinged. Can he take this fight and win it? He's in a 1v1 right now.
ooh.
Oh, he gives away his position. Tiny takes a lot of damage, but now he knows that DNA already had main stairs. That had such a big opportunity for payoff, and they didn't even reinforce con wall. Kind of going back to an older strat where there was 2 walls on con to cash and you had to use those, but now there's really no reason to not get con single wall.
Who is that down
so
there?
interesting setup.
Pit. Comet is in pit. Is he?
So this angle actually watches the walk up into garage, right? It prevents anyone from walking up the stairs. So you either put someone down here if you want to help support the guy in rafters as like a late rotate in to help them, or you put him in there and give up rafters to try and bait them into taking the rafters for free, because you want them to call out, yo, rafters free, take it, and then as soon as they walk in, they get shut down from oil pit.
Oh, what is happening?
So they map trick the wall. They're trying to Ashe it open right now, and it looks like just a misplaced Ashe charge by Karma, which is very unfortunate on his part. I would like to see him not messing up those, but is what it is. They do have control of this. Mosey gets a wall bang onto Coke Box, and this has already gotten a first blood for Night Owls. It makes matters worse, making it a 5v3, and their Rafters player is dead. This is 100% a Night Owl's favored round right now. If he can watch, unfortunately, I was going to say, if he could watch his oil pit, then this should be a free take. But Comets is still lurking down there, gets his one, decides to rotate back. DNA has taken his fight and lost it up in gym, giving away his position because he went up the hatch. And now we're back in a 3v3. Mosey does get a pickup with a nade through the site, I would assume, and has default plan. Do they have a C4 to deny this? They do. Yikes. They have 2 C4s, and one of them goes off, taking out Mosey, but is quickly traded back by Ribo on the ARX. Karma's going to go for the exact same plant. Do they have another... Ooh, this is an interesting angle. I've seen this before, but it's very rarely used. He doesn't know the plant's going down, and now it's a very tough retake. If they can both get outside of breach, knowing that he's in master, then there's no way that they lose this. This is a very aggressive angle. I'm not sure I like this by Rybo. It is a bit of an off angle.
Drop.
He does drop into stage. They are aware of its presence because they see the drone. He has nothing to C4 here because there's no one sitting in sight.
He heard the rip.
And now he has to walk up red stairs, force this fight. He's going to lose it 100%. Oh, maybe not. Either way, he's out of time, and that is another round for Night Owls. Well played.
Wow.
They got their plant down. They do keep losing people to these C4s. That I saw that one go off. It was directly underneath the bomb chassis. So they know that someone is pre-placing these below, underneath the bomb chassis, and they are not sending anyone through secret or bottom garage to shoot through that wall or open up main door to shoot that C4. And they're not planting off default, like directly inside the breach, for example. And so they keep losing people to these C4s that are 100% preventable if they had just realized that this is something that Blind Bandits relies on heavily.
I mean, they did the same thing, though.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm saying this is something that both teams rely on, so they should be aware of it.
And
we got Scare and Kinger in chat making a very interesting bit of banter about LMGs and unranked sessions and scrims and how they don't count.
It sounds like Scare and Kinger.
Yes, this is very classic for both of them.
I was going to say, to answer your question earlier, I don't think I've really given it much thought, because like my experience with Siege is probably very, very far different than your experience. Not
everyone's experience with Siege is a little bit different, I forgive you.
You forgive me.
Yeah, I forgive you. It is what it is. Not everyone can be as fantastic at these video games as I have.
Okay. I got some things to say, but we're on stream. I ain't gonna say it now.
we'll have a talk afterwards. Okay. But anyway, to answer the question earlier. So what I believe they were doing there is they're trying to counter the Maverick trick by throwing the C4 directly in front of the holes, and because of the angle, your Maverick usually gets blown up. I think he caught it and fell away too quickly. I'm not so sure about this. His feet should be exposed to those holes that he made earlier. But he does Maverick trick it within the first minute. That is a very good mark for any Maverick player. If you can get that wall done in 20 to 30 seconds or less, meaning the first minute of the round, then you're already on a good start. Tiny died early, I assume from the other side of the map. We don't have a Maru this time, but perhaps Karma got that kill. Did you see?
No, I did not. Oh, it was Rybo. Rybo got the kill.
Magdi gets a very impressive shot onto the Rafters player. I assume that was R2.
Yes.
And now we have the Osa shield. I really like this Osa shield.
Oh my.
It's asking to be impacted and shot, but you kind of just wait for that bait, right? You play it until someone peeks out with a nade in hand and you try and get the headshot on them. It's a very interesting strat, and I generally like to do it myself.
Ooh.
A lot of damage onto the entire attacking team. It is a 5v3 though. I don't think that Blind Bandits can pull this back unless someone goes absolutely nuclear right now. They are rotating one down for the C4 below.
Oh boy.
Can they pull off this execute? It is already down to a 3v2 as one dies from the smoke, and they're having to force their way through the smoke into sight, and they're losing people left and right. Mosey and MacD are both low on health. Rival's the only one full health, and just ran past. They missed him as he jumped through the window. Wansboro should have had that. He's all out of smoke canisters, and the plant should be going down. The trades are coming through, and now it's a 3v1. 2v1 as one is taken down. Oh, missed shots on both sides. Mosey's going to be picked back up, back to a 3v1, and they have the cross, and it's over. A very effective round, even though a little chaotic, having to move through the smoke babes, trying to take out the person that was rotated down for the C4 plant denial. A lot of little mistakes coming out from both sides, but in the end, they prevailed in the chaos, and we get to see Night Owls move up to 5-3.
Oh. I was gonna say something important about the smoke, but I'll say it. Those timed perfectly can deny any plant. Like, it's crazy. Like, especially with everybody being pebbled by gunfire like throughout the entire round, and like by the time it's like the last 20 seconds of round, you gotta execute. Almost everybody's at like 15-20 health, and like, spend more than 2 breaths in the smoke, you just die. You die. It's over.
Yeah, 100%. Your smoke players. I, as a former smoke player, obviously I'm a little biased, but I think smoke players should be one of your top skill players, if not like the top. It is a very difficult to use kit with not a whole lot of utility like explosive wise, and your guns can be tricky to use, but a lot of clutch potential. If you have a smoke in a 1vx and he still has his smoke babes in pocket, then there is no telling which way that round may go. Like, one of the best operators in any clutch situation. It is a basement defense this time, and there is a slightly interesting lineup here, bringing a buck instead of a sledge on DNA, doubling down on soft breach. They're aware of this man in garage, gets pinched out and immediately taken out as Tiny Taco was playing in a suicide position. I assume they had a drone up in rafters that was able to see him.
I think so, because they knew exactly where he was.
Yeah, that was a ping and pinch, and if you're in front of a soft wall and a soft door, there's no winning that one. But yeah, the clutch potential on a smoke is absolutely insane.
Yeah, 2 especially top floor roamers, which leaves only 2 players in sight.
That's true. We have a buck creeping down dirt here and droning himself, and they seem to be aware of it as Legion is watching the. That's a Legion, right? Yeah, a Legion watching the dirt door. Comets takes out Ribo from what looked like the vertical angles up in Logi down to Freezer, and Draco is down as Mac picks him up. Bodies are falling left and right, and they are lacking their fuse, which I assume they were relying on a lot to get the hatches with the secondary heart breach, as well as the fuse charges in Kitchen, and Kitchen seems uncontested at this point. With a minute and a half left in the round, everything seems to be going south for really both teams, actually, now that I re-look at it, because it is a 4v3. They've given up their top floor Logi contestation with Comets falling back. And it looks like they're going to be getting both Dirt and Kitchen Hatch. This may be an execute coming here in the next 30 seconds or so.
They know that Saruni's up here.
They do. But as long as they can hold the stairs for her to come down and retake, then it is basically like fighting a 4v2. The Aruni is completely useless on the top floor because she got her pick and rotated off the holes that she was using to contest Logic. Trades come out from Comets and DNA. Karma picks up his, and now we're in another 3v1. Comets has to retake, and as I said, that Aruni stuck top floor having to come back down the stairs is a very tough fight to take, and an almost useless position if your team is dying in sight and you aren't able to help them.
That will bring us to match point in favor of Night Owls.
And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, right, that is 3 attacking rounds in a row on Night Owls. And as I said, Clubhouse tends to be an attacker-favored map, and this is so far proving it. So this should be an easy closeout for Night Owls, even if it's not the next round, within the next 3.
Yeah. So here's what the scoreboard is looking like. Hit Draco at 13, Comments at 8, Tiny Taco at 2, Wands at 5, and Polo at 0. And with the Night Owls, we have 13 on MacD, 10 on Karma Sutra, 9 on Ribo, 3 on Mosey, and Danae.
It is unfortunate that Polo seems to not be having such a great game. It tends to be that the subs for these teams pop off and do really well on game day, but just not the case for today in Polo. It could be, the positioning, or he's just unfamiliar with the new team's comms. I know that's what always throws me off.
I also don't know how soon he knew he was gonna be a sub. Sometimes these sub situations are like literally like an hour before the match, so.
Oh yeah, no, it can be rough, and if you're not warmed up and you're not like trying to play, I'm hoping he can pick it back up in the next map when he's gotten a little bit more warmed up and he's more familiar with the comms and the positions and roles that they're asking him to play. Usually as a sub, you're kind of in that I'm gonna fill any position you need from me role, which can always screw up your gameplay, especially if you're not familiar with whatever role they're asking you to do. They do have 4 stacked on construction dirt here. We may get to see a fast push down construction and 1 dropping oil if Karma over there is on. Yeah, it looks like they're completely sending it down. There is a 5-man rush, 1 coming from oil, the other 4 coming from dirt. They have an Osa leading the charge here, and it does not look like Blind Bandits is ready for this. They have 1 man on drone by dummies, and 2 in church, 1 on the right. Do they check him here? They do. They're aware of his position. He is taken out, and now they should be able to get a plant down, as all of Arsenal control is theirs. The Valkyrie and the Wamai jump back in and try and take this. Oh, and they do. They land their shots, and now they have the control back. The rush has failed. The best that Night Owls can do at this point is slow down, back it off, and reassess the situation. But instead, they're just pushing full steam ahead. They catch 1. They almost catch 2, and yeah, it is a 2v1. They should have a crossfire on this. The Runige is reset. Ribo has very little chance of pulling this back. Those nades are going to get caught by Wamai Disc. Wamai should be holding this cross for the contact, and yes, they played that absolutely beautifully. When you have 2 players in a 2v1, you want 1 person holding this passive angle for when they walk in, and the other person ready to swing off the contact. As soon as you see hear a bullet fly, you swing off it, and that is exactly what the Wamai did. That is beautiful play from Blind Bandits.
Valiant effort by Night Owls. So.
Honestly, I had faith in that push. I 100% respect the play. They had the entry. They got the Maestro. They had the shield down. They had diffuser in sight. Really, the only thing that was the problem is they had the Wamai and the Rooney jump back through the rotate in the door, and they just lost gunfights.
I think
the Osa was looking in the wrong direction, and it fell apart.
The IQ wasn't up to speed with them either in pit.
I actually don't mind the IQ's timing there, because there wasn't a player in blue. But if there had been a player in blue...
Was there not? I thought there was.
There was not. No, there was not. The player in blue rotated into dummy box immediately as soon as the fight started happening. So there wasn't a player in blue, and if there had been a player in blue, then the IQ would have been able to be taking his 1 at that exact same time and applying pressure to the back end. So I don't hate that timing. Because of that, it did throw them off. But that was, like, they can't know that there isn't a player in blue at that exact moment.
True, yeah. Perspective.
Yeah, it's 100% perspective, and Siege moves so fast. It is it's one of those things where, you look away for a second, and the entire scene's changed. Half the people are dead, and the other half have half HP.
Yeah. So Blind Bandits here is looking to bring it to OT.
Yeah, it is a tall task, as they're going to have to win both their secondary and tertiary bomb sites in order to take it into OT. I believe in their team play, and they might be able to do this, but it is no simple feat. Mosey looks like he's setting a good pace to get this Maverick down. I don't like the angle that he's making this Maverick trick at, but it is not being contested so far, and no one's watching his feet holes. So he should be able to get it down no problem here in the next 5 or 10 seconds. He is going to have some cleanup, which is the problem when you're completely side up against the wall. And so hopefully they're able to clean this up soon, get the breach open. I wouldn't be peeking this guy too much on rafters, but maybe they're just applying pressure, making sure that he's not looking for when the breach open. Oh, and he's lost. MacD is down, losing to hit Draco. That is an angle so heavily favored towards the defense. Another one goes down as Comets picks up DNA. Ooh, it is a 5v2, and if they can pull off a flawless round here, then they would be going into the final round with such a confidence and morale boost. We still have full hit points on both the remaining attackers, and 4 out of 5 of the remaining defenders. If they fell back to site, held this and played for trades, there's nearly no way that Night Owls takes this. They are rotating to a con side take. You can see that Karma's going to be dropping Logi Hatch so that they can try and contest this door. They don't really have a hard breach, like a fast hard breach that can take this, so they're just going to be relying on gun skill and trades on this single door. These nades hopefully can pick up man on red. Downs him, no, did not down him. Did no damage at all, actually, as Karma picks up 2 through the Azami barricade. And now we're back into a 3v2. They did rotate 1 down below with the C4 of Comets. So hopefully, even if they do take that site control, then he can C4 deny the plant. But it is getting sketchy for sure. Mosey's getting real aggressive on this Maverick hole, just stuffing his face into the breach.
Ooh.
Hopefully, 7 seconds. They have to push now through the smokes, and with bullets flying through the only door that they're able to push through, with no one rotating to suicide valve, it was kind of destined to fail. That is another one of those rounds that it's coming down to heroics, and Night Owls are just not able to pull it back. They're moving too quickly, trying to close out this map, and it's hurting them.
I wonder if they remember they can call timeouts, because in this situation where you're 5-6 and you've had match point for 2 rounds, right? And you may feel like the enemy is getting some momentum, maybe a timeout would disrupt that and give you a chance to talk things out.
I 100% agree with you.
You know what I mean?
I think a call out would have been, a timeout would have been perfect at this time. Especially after a nearly flawless round with the only picks being impactless kills in the 5v2. This would have been a perfect time to call that timeout, get a mental reset, reapproach this with some better mental headspace and a new game strategy going in.
Is that
already down to a 5v4 as one disconnects, I'm pretty sure.
That would be a rehost, I believe, right?
If they call rehost.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they're calling rehost, it's still prep phase. No one's died, so.
Okay. We will do the rehost.
Another note, we have 32 viewers in Twitch right now, and
I didn't even look at the match thingy, the stats.
It was 6-5 in favor of Night Owls.
No, well, okay. Bear with us, Twitch chat. I'm gonna get this set up. Y'all do some talking in chat. Be lively. Give me a moment.
Yeah, it was 6-5 in favor of Night Owls.
Alright, we are back and we are live. We are still waiting for the players to load in, but thought we could maybe do some chit chat with Twitch while we wait for players to load back in. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Currently they're asking what they want to talk about and what map 1 looked like, but we're still in map 1. We had to rehost because of a disconnection on the side of Night Owls.
And
but
this,
we're 6-5.
Yeah, this will be
sorry.
Night Owl's first rehost.
Yeah, it counts as their first rehost. And this is Night Owl's map to lose right now, as it's a gym bedroom attack, 6-5. And they've just lost 2 consecutive rounds on the other 2 bomb sites. And so, really, to choke a 3-round lead it's going to be very unfortunate if we witness it on stream.
Well, it wouldn't mean the end of the night, though, so... But...
It wouldn't be what?
The end of the night.
Oh no, of course not. It's 3 maps, you know. If you even if you struggle on one map, especially it being the first map, there's 100% a good chance that they pull it back on the future maps. Especially with this being a Blind Bandits pick for their map, actually. So they're supposedly more comfortable on this map. And if Night Owls are able to close out in a win, then they're sitting pretty. And if they don't close out and win and instead, lose it, then they're still fine because they have their map and then the decider coming up.
Yeah. I have a feeling this can go to OT.
I think it could, just because Night Owls seems to be playing to not lose instead of playing to win. And that gets really scary when you start playing, passive and you don't want to lose your lead, and you start letting that get into your head. The entire game plan falls apart. And I'm hoping that this rehost, because they didn't call a timeout, instead they got gifted a rehost because of a disconnection. I'm hoping this rehost allows them to sit back down, calm themselves, and be like, all right, this is where we win it, this is where we close it out. Let's play our game and not worry about the results.
Right, yeah.
Yes, Jay, I believe Club should have been Blind Bandits' pick. At least that's what I remember seeing. Yes. I could be mistaken in that, but it should be.
Here's the map bands. Again. I think it was... I think how it works is it's... Club was Blind Bandits' pick, Villa was Night Owls.
And the decider was Cafe.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's what I remember seeing too. So the fact that they went down 3 rounds on Blind Bandits is very concerning.
You're having some trouble getting the last person in here.
Who is the last person?
Hit Draco.
Interesting.
What? Let me see if I can get him in here.
Okay, in the meantime, I'll keep talking to the chat.
Oh yeah, what's chat saying?
Honestly, not much right now. It looks like a lot of people are kind of taking, a bathroom break or a second to grab some snacks or whatever, as this rehost is dragging on.
Oh, we got him in.
Oh, it looks like we have a full lobby now.
Now we have a full lobby. Okay.
All right, let's get it popping.
Okay, making sure everybody ready. Everybody good to go. Okay, we are ready to go. And here we go. We're gonna start.
That's a lot of R's from
That is
Onesboro.
a
He
lot
wants
of
to be
Rs.
a pirate.
I mean,
if he's able to steal back this map, he will be a pirate. Let's be real.
I hope I set everything up right.
It is going to be hilarious if you didn't. It looks fine. Remind them that they have to do the same operators if you don't mind.
Same ups.
As Mosey switches back to his Maverick.
Well, the attackers can always switch back. But
yeah, I recognize the Maverick was missing. I don't remember the other operators, to be fair. But it is.
I don't either. So
yeah,
I didn't see it. Didn't happen.
Exactly. That's how that works.
Oh, I never got the scoreboard, by the way, before
Sup, Simon?
we ended that. Hi, Simon.
I'm sure that the scoreboard should be fine. You had pulled it up, I believe, the round before, so there would only be a couple of.
So
yeah, so there should only be like maybe 1 or 2 kills that got changed. But otherwise, I think you checked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you should be like you checked it right beforehand.
Okay.
They are deciding to block off cash. No, okay, that was just a misreinforcement from Polo. He decided against it. I was about to get very interested here because you generally don't want to block off that cache to con wall. Instead, you want to set up a cache hold, either with a rotate top red or a full 5 reinforcement like barricade. But when you have 5 people on the board, there's really no reason to not to extend over to cache. It helps you especially hold those long angles in the gym. It helps you prevent a CC push, and you can retake into CC very easily to contest highway or suicide balcony, whatever you like to call it. And as they're punching those castle barricades on your windows, it's just free picks for the most part if you're careful, at least. So we do see this Maverick trick coming with instead of a Maverick trick, it's actually just a large hole at the top. It looks like they're going to try and drop a nade over to get the guy in bathroom, but there's no one currently playing in bathroom, so this nade's just going to land, maybe taking out some utility. I didn't see any utility get set up there. There was no shields, so it was probably just a pre-fired nade. Generally, you don't want to make such a large Maverick hole because it just invites C4s to be thrown. It's actually a very interesting thing about... at least in my opinion, Maverick players making a single hole in the middle top of a reinforcement to put a nade through, because the C4 is going to come out and hit you exactly where you're nading from. Instead, I like to put that hole on the side of a reinforcement, bounce it off the reinforcement, because the C4 can't cut angles, right? They don't bounce like nades do. And so it just instead gets stuck to the wall, and Hit Draco just gets active on Jacuzzi Balk, swings and takes the fight on Breach and wins it. And they have first pick, putting Blind Bandits in a very believable spot to take this to an overtime match point. It is traded back, unfortunately, to Tiny Tacos by... The stream's fuzzy. I can't actually see who did that. It was Mosey, I believe.
Yes, it was Mosey. Sorry. Do I need to restart the stream for you?
You may need to, but for right now, it's okay.
Okay, I'll do it whenever.
Oh, he keeps swinging the breach and picks up another one on the top main stairs. And they actually now have man advantage. This is 100% doable. Karma stacks up here on Jacuzzi, and it looks like they're going to try and just jump straight through here. They do have one holding the CC, the other one contesting Master Balcony. This isn't a terrible spot. They do need to clear out this Frost in order to make a gem attack happen. I would like to see them push Breach more than... Oh, they misdroned him. He shoots the drone anyway, gives away his position. They are inside a breach. Now they're going to be taking this fight onto Frost. They don't know about him.
They should have known.
Mosey, and DNA just jumps in, takes the fight, wins it. Mosey's getting planted down in the middle of sight. Absolutely no cover, though, and it is over as Wansboro prones and shoots him through the footholes that they had made earlier.
Yikes.
That is unfortunate. It was a very iffy spot to get a plant down, and they misdroned their entry. Either it wasn't droned or it wasn't communicated where that Frost is sitting. So Mosey was not checking the right angles on his entry. Secondly, they had a second hard breach gadget. that I think they should have used on the right side of Jacuzzi balcony. Because if you have a right side breach, you can jump in there safely without getting swung from either Logi or Master. Whereas if it's only on the left, you have like 3 or 4 angles you have to watch as they could swing you from main stairs, Logi, Master, the rotating bathroom, or even gym itself. It's a very small difference, and it wasn't capitalized on this round. But it is a small mistake that a lot of teams overlook. If you can put 2 breaches, you might as well put 2 breaches.
So with that, we are at overtime. And with the way things have been going, it could go either way. We're gonna go to the full, what, like 15 rounds, it looks like?
It could be 14.
14?
Most likely, it's looking like it's going to be 15, as they've done both halves a 3-3 split. I personally think Blind Bandits is in favor right now because they're running on a hot streak. I believe the Night Owls a little mentally chalked right now, as they're letting rounds just slip away and making very careless mistakes that they weren't making right after the switch on rounds 7, 8, 9. And so I think unless they can really pull that back right now, resettle themselves into what they were doing at the beginning of the half, then this is gonna be a Blind Bandits reverse take, as they've already won 3 rounds. They could make this 5. We have Comet's kind of pinned up here in construction when he doesn't know. Oh, with a nice swing, takes out MacD on a suicide balcony, because MacD is pushing it completely alone. He had no drones to help him and no one pinching the other window. So with a pre-fire, he knows his head level, he swings it crouched, gets easy pick. Well done.
Just want to say that Roni is a laser beam, man.
It really is. It's a solid gun, and it's also highly prized by people that can hit their headshots and have good aim. I personally would much rather take an SMG-11. You have more bullets, faster fire rate, more damage, all over. Better gun stats wise, just harder to control recoil.
It sounds like
and you don't have the 1.5.
Sounds like a skill issue. I'm just
yeah, it can be.
I'm just kidding.
It also just depends on what what kind of utility people like to bring. Like I said, I was a former smoke player, so I'm a little biased.
Yeah, you are a little biased. As someone who's not biased.
The Roni's still nice. Oh, there's them on a rotate, as they don't know that DNA has pushed all the way down dirt, and Polo just caught out of place. They should have a blue rotate, and there's no reason he should be falling back into Arsenal. Oh, another one almost caught out on a rotate. He's now pinned into that oil pit hallway, and he's going to go for a massive flank here. They don't have a Claymore to stop him, and instead he's just going to sit. Hoping that the attack forgets that he's down there, and if they don't drone him and they don't clear him, he might be good for 1. Hit Draco takes a huge C4 on Mosey, which I believe was outside or upstairs. No, just in kitchen hallway.
Yeah,
that was diffuser down, but it was recovered quickly by Rybo, and it looks like they're doing a fast rotate over to a blue side take. And this is where Wansboro is going to be really hit or miss on if he goes big here. No, they're just pushing down main stairs. Wansboro pushes up, and they have the pinch. He gets punched to finish it off, and it's all over.
Unfortunate.
Sending it down blue and not having anyone in oil to contest the guy that you watched go into oil earlier is a rough string of events. But time's ticking. You have very few people, and mistakes like that just happen. Like I said, I think Blind Bandits is in favor here, even if they lose this round right here, because they're back on the attack. It's still very doable that they can close it out and match overtime, and it will be a very, very sad turn of events for Night Owls, who were sitting on match point for 3 rounds in a row.
I'm already getting tired, Broly. Oh my.
You gotta keep popping those Red Bulls, you know?
I've got another one ready and waiting, okay?
You gotta keep your caffeine levels, like, you know, just constantly on the rise, right? As they decline and you metabolize, you just gotta keep dropping the energy drinks, you know? Until you can't talk anymore. That's when you know it's too much. When you start getting the heart palpitations and you can't talk, you're like, all right, I can lay off with it.
I live for the heart palpitations.
That's also how you die by the heart palpitations.
I know,
too.
I know.
You can live for them and you can also die for them. I'm just saying, you know, you may want to be a little careful with that one.
I'm okay. Alright.
So we have a basement attack here. They seem to be swarming from a warehouse side over to Con take. I don't know why they didn't just spawn in Con. Maybe they didn't want to deal with the spawn peaks, which is reasonable, understandable. They appear to be droning out both dirt and kitchen. Primarily kitchen first, see if they can get that hatch. One's going to be getting on chains repel. And we see Karma sitting out in strip. And he might be caught by this chains repel if he pushes back into bathroom. This is a very dangerous spot. They appear to know that he's there as you see two people rotate over to strip. They're going to try and pinch him out, force him. Oh, and he's already
left.
gone.
He left.
He's already gone. He's already back in stage. And just slipped right through their fingers.
Ooh.
Chains repel, catches him, and he gone.
Nice.
That is an angle you do not want to peek without a quick peek for info. Like, you do not try and contest chains repel unless you have to, and if you do, always quick peek for info. Alright, so they have strip control. They've droned out Arsenal, which I don't know why there's a... oh, I'm sorry, I thought that was a vigil. That's a mute. We have Comets getting an early pick through the hatch, it appears. Raibo tries to throw out a C4, catches nothing as they're still in freezer. And at this point, we are in a 5v3. Blind Bandits on the verge of taking the map with an attacking half. Raibo does come back with one. What appears to be in sight, I assume through the hatch as someone overpeaked. And if they're forced down main stairs, this is going to be right into Raibo's waiting arms here for this gridlock. He gets aggressive. Really aggressive. He pushes up. I like this take. He wins this 100%. He does not win it. Wansboro was aware. He turned, wins the fight. As he didn't have the shotgun out. If he had the shotgun out, he wins that, guaranteed. But anyway, 4v2. Ooh. Karma is making a comeback, getting the picks on the flank. But unfortunately, I think it's going to be too little, too late. No, it isn't. As Karma is going massive. Hit Draco does trade it back, though. And we're now in a 1v2. He does have time to work with here, as only 15 seconds are left on the clock. All he has to do is stall. They do not have defuser. He can just hide. He is unable to do that. He takes the fight, loses the fight to Hit Draco, and it was so close to winning.
Wow, if he just had a little bit more health. A little bit
Blind
more.
Bandits takes the first map because Mosey isn't aware that the fuser's still out in spawn and all he had to do is hide. That is an unfortunate sight, but very respectable on Blind Bandits' side, as they took 5 rounds back-to-back, clawing it back from a half-round deficit, 3-6. Enemy teams on match point. They kept it together, kept their cool, and brought it all the way back for an overtime win. I am very excited to see what Siege goes down in the second map. This is going to be a nail-biter of a series.
Yes. So now we can take a little breather, 5-minute breather, get drinks, whether it's alcoholic or energy, snacks, pee break, and we will reconvene here momentarily. Yes?
Sounds good.
Okay. Alright, Broly, we are back. We are currently in a pickle, but we are waiting to get it resolved. We figured we might as well chit-chat with y'all while we wait.
Yeah, we appear to be having some player technical difficulties that we're hoping can get resolved shortly. We don't want to keep you guys waiting too long.
Yeah. Well,
Anyway, what were your thoughts on the last match, Amber?
I did not expect OT. I did not.
Neither did I. It was, I believe, as I said after round 3, it is going to be one like tough climb for them to crawl back from a 3-round deficit, having to win all 3, primary, secondary, and tertiary bomb sites.
Yeah. I think both teams showed strong and weak plays, and if either team caught on to those and are able to capitalize on those or weaken the strong plays, right, then that would show adaptability and their ability to take information immediately and convert it to something productive,
See, I think Blind Bandits seem to have either just really good adaptability in the macro scale of, like, they knew a general idea what was going to happen, or of, like, very good fast communication and micro adjustments for example, like when they rushed down dirt, got the first picks, like all that kind of stuff, and they were able to immediately like take action, sweep it back with a retake. It showed that Blind Bandits had a really good adaptability in those scenarios, as opposed to Night Owls, who started off really strong, and you can see that their macro planning and their plans at the beginning during prep phase and stuff are all there, and they're working for the most part. And then about halfway through, when they started getting countered, when they started encountering stuff that they weren't quite expecting, they fell apart a little bit. And they would stall out in the mid rounds. They would do like last second blue pushes. Just try and flood sight through construction on top floor, like stuff where they didn't really have the adjustments that they needed in order to bring it back from a man disadvantage, or from even just a hot streak by Blind Bandits.
Yeah. I mean, it was, I ain't gonna lie, that first map, it was a lot to take in. It was a lot of like, I don't know how to word it. It's like it was a lot to take in, like watching it as a host, because you're trying to like make sure everybody can see what's going on, and it's kind of hard in those last 15, 20, 30 seconds when they're scrambling to execute or to deny the execute, right? And so I have to sit here and like think back to what I seen and like the plays that like stood out the most, or the scenarios that stood out the most, and it's like I'm kind of like at a loss for words because I'm still like processing while we're waiting for this next match or map. So I'm not gonna have a lot of words to say.
Oh, you're fine. The biggest plays that tended to stick out for me were the like when an attack would just fail in the dying seconds, because of either they didn't drone out below to check for C4s, or they would lose a couple of man disadvantage. They would still have the space, but decide to rotate to the other side of the map, just because they wanted to try a new angle and allowed the defense to reposition and reset themselves and set up crossfires, all that kind of stuff. It was a lot of just attacks, especially kind of falling in the last couple of seconds during those executes, and for the most part those are the ones that stick out in my mind. The ones where the round goes really cleanly are less memorable a lot of times.
Yeah, because they're not so dramatic or anything like that. But I will say, like, the defense rounds where there was just like the roam game on either team, they had some either really intense or really like well timed roams by
Mhm.
some of their players, like with Karma roaming on almost every round and being able to flank back to side almost like untouched or even noticed, and being able
Yeah.
to attempt to or contest site when an execute's coming down, right? Like just
I actually commend their roam players a bit because it's very much a ranked roam playstyle, right? Like there's no utility setup for them. They don't have reinforcements down, as you can see with Tiny Tacos, picked out early and bottom of Garage, right? Stuff like that. Right? They don't have the utility setup for them, or the team play to play off of. So they're just relying on gun skill and game sense and game knowledge. And so the people that were able to pull it off, like Karma, like MacD every once in a while and stuff, that were able to go in, get those flanks, get the important picks during execute, cause that pressure and make themselves be chased, like all that, like pressure and build up and stuff, absolutely change those rounds. Every once in a while, yeah, they would get picked off early. They would die early, and at that point, it's a body down, and they haven't influenced the round at all. And so that's a very, as they call, like, feast or famine kind of play style. But when it did pay off, it paid off big. And those people that were able to get those flanks, they played lights out really well.
yeah. I'm sorry I don't have feedback to give to that because it looks like we finally have the lobby ready.
We do. We have 10 people, all in the spots that they need to be.
Everybody is
ready to get into this Villa match.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get started because they're getting impatient.
Not gonna lie, I was getting impatient too. So
it's not just so much we could talk about,
right? Yeah. Sometimes you just want to see some good siege, okay? And you can't do that if you're just looking at a lobby screen.
Hey, them
right.
them pregame lobbies be kind of lit sometimes, though.
They do. Predictions. What kind of bands do you see coming out here?
Oh fuck. Cade.
We're on attack. It's attacking bands.
Sorry.
I wouldn't be surprised to see a Jackal, either that or a Finka. Those are kind of the metas right now. On defense, I would like to see a Valk ban. There's a lot of Valk play on Villa. I don't think that Mira is a necessary ban. A lot of people like to do it for comfort, so that they're able to enable study side pushes. And I was right with the Jackal. But I would like to see either a Cade or a Valk. If they want to get a little more, I guess, spicy with it, then something like a Goyo or a Chonka band, because area denial is absolutely massive on Villa. And as I said, Mira, that's mostly just a comfort pick. You can usually pretty easily get rid of the mirror windows on basically any site just through the floor. Like if you take below, you can always just shoot out a mirror window. But if you don't want to deal with that, you don't have to clear out below. You don't want to, try and look up through the floor and not get shot. I understand it. Mirror is a solid ban. And Valk was the other one that I said that I wanted to see.
Cade's on the board.
Unfortunately, not banned out, but someone has to be on the board.
Yeah, that's true. I think I probably would have preferred the Cade ban, but
Hey, some people just like having their old Moroccans.
Hey, as a previous Cade main, like I 100%, like, man, like
it's also just a comfort pick with the 1.5 on his SMG. Oh, it goes so hard. Yeah. It's very clean.
It's a nice, good feeling gun, I'll say.
It really is. And then having that C4 in pocket when you're an anchor, to deny plant, to do last second rotates, to throw over reinforcements. Like one of my favorite C4s on this map is when you're standing behind bar and you throw the C4 over your bar to study wall to land right about where that small couch is, and catches anyone that's like pushing up on what I call noob door or the door into AV, or anyone up against the breach. Very solid C4.
Yes, yes. By the way, chat, I got me another Red Bull. So I'm in it for the long haul.
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored. No.
But can be. If Red Bull, if you're listening and you want to hit us up, all right, I will let you know now. I at least, like, last year, I probably single-handedly funded the entire, like, Walmart around me just with Red Bull buys, okay? I was buying a case every 2 days, all right?
Oh my God.
It was a full addiction, okay? I'm just letting you know. We got your back, Red Bull, if that's what you're interested in. But anyway, it looks like it's a fountain take here. They do have at least one roamer by Astro. I didn't get to catch who that was. Ooh, a solo entry below from Mr. DNA on the sledge here. He didn't shoot the default, electing to instead not give away the information that someone had been down there, and is hoping to get a sneaky flank up red here, which the flank up red is one of my favorites because you always catch this person right here that's rotating back towards 90. And he was caught, but he was not caught by our red player. Instead, pinched out in trophy. So they now have the entire north side of the map, from red stairs all the way through Astro. Ooh, but Draco below with the cap can coming up from basement, able to take out DNA and trade out that original first blood. They are now back in a 4v4 with a lot of damage, I assume from Capcan traps because it looks very standardized, onto Mosey and MacD. And this Capcan is absolutely destroying the attack right now as they appear to not know how to check doors, or just don't drone it.
Sometimes you just don't think about it either. Like,
that's true.
I don't know if he got droned out or not.
On the board. Or they just got greedy. I feel like that's what happens to a lot of really good teams, is that, you get a drone on a person and you start calling for them, so everyone rushes to pinch them, and then
unfortunate.
And they don't do they skip the steps, Can't skip the little steps in order to get to the big steps.
Looking to get those flanks covered. Oh, MacD.
Ooh, interesting. So this Maestro Cam and Study is going to be very difficult to use.
Oh, plant is going down.
As they're planting behind Vault Door with no way to contest it. What?
Oh!
Wansboro stalled out and allowed the plant to go down. They're now in a post plant in a 1v2. MacD able to pick up the first one in a 1v1. He knows where he's at. He just has to hide and play the time. Instead, he peeks and loses it to Wansboro. Absolutely no reason to peek that, as he hadn't even touched the diffuser yet. But is what it is, and the round is over just like that.
I'm a little speechless after that.
I would say, maybe he didn't know that he was by map and was worried he was getting pressured by 90, so he thought he would take the space, swing it, get the info. But I can't even say that because he was putting all the shots down, red and skull for at least like 2 to 3 seconds before he peaked. Like, I don't know what to say. It was a very unfortunate round to watch.
So Hobbs said, "I won't check doors and you can't make me." Okay, Hobbs.
Hobbs, that is very much a you thing to do. To be fair, I always get caught out by Capcan traps because I like to be entry, and I like to skip a lot of steps. I have way too much confidence in myself sometimes.
When you're a floppy entry.
I also have confidence in my droners who tend to not call out utility and instead just call out people.
How many times have you been
Hobbs.
messy? I was gonna say, how many times has Hob gotten you killed by a Capcan trap?
It's mostly landmines actually, but a little bit Hobbs. You know, they drone past, they call like some utility or a person, and then I just run in, hit a frost mat or something, and they go, "Oh, I should have called that. My bad." And I'm like, "How dare you?"
And now,
okay,
now that I'm at 40 health, thanks.
Right. Jeff says that man risked it all for the knife.
I mean,
he did indeed.
Yeah.
He let the plant go down and almost lost it just because he was going for the knife.
Just imagine if that plant went down a lot sooner, like that wouldn't have been such a favorable fight for.
Well, if he had knifed earlier or just shot him in the head, then the plant wouldn't have gone down.
I think
and the
he was out of
bullets
at that point because he was reloading in Volt.
Yeah, but he had a bailiff.
Oh, that's right. I forget
over there.
Secondaries are a thing.
Like he ran over there while out of bullets, so he could have switched weapons on the way. Anyway, sorry. They're doing a trophy statue defense. They have a very standard setup here with the holes and triple wall. We did get an early open on Master. And so now they're able to watch Closet. They're able from the defense side. And we have Tiny Taco sitting in the top. This is going to be very spicy if he gets droned out. And I did hear the drone jump. They should know this is winnable for them. But Tiny Taco gets out. They had no one capitalizing on that drone info and no one repelled on their Astro window, which you have to have someone on that Astro window to cut off the rotate, both up Astro stairs and someone out of bathroom. As they lose that, gets slow peeked from Mac D, and Wansboro just sees a little head and dinks it. And it's all over for Mac. Karma is making his way up Astro stairs, nice and slow, and may have a massive link here if they don't know about him. DNA with the trigger control sees the small at the back and doesn't shoot it. Karma goes big for one. This is their time to push. Karma goes big for two. They're going massive as they have Astro control. They should be flooding into statue right now. And Plant should be going down as soon as they can have control and Plant between the statues. Trades coming from both sides. Karma gets shut down, and now we are in a 1v2, 1v1 as Draco is pulling it back single-handedly. DNA versus Draco, and he loses it to the gunfight on Breach. An absolutely electric round, finishing with a win from the attack, all off the back of Karma, who walked up Astro. Just massive guts to do that. All right. Absolutely no drones ahead of you, no utility, no flashbangs, to just walk up Astro, take your fights and win them, especially 2, 3, not getting traded out. Huge for the Night Owls.
Wow. Whenever a teammate is able to see that there's a stall happening and they make that ground, they make that opening, and like I like to see it, and I also like that feeling too when it's my team, whenever like we're stalling out, right, and it's coming down to the last 45-30 seconds of the round, and like we have no idea like how to push through this, like what is stalling us, until someone makes that that one kill. It's that one kill and everybody just knows, and you just push it. Like it's like the energy is there, like y'all all want that same thing, and that is what they did.
I also just realized that Tiny Taco's Thorn Gadget killed Comets. I don't know how that happened.
It must. When they probably rushed in, it activated it. Yes?
And somehow it killed the teammate without him getting notification. First off, anyone dying to a Thorn Gadget, already impressive. For it to be a teammate, more impressive. So maybe he was down, maybe he got confirmed, I'm not sure, but it happened. I'm interested in that. Also, Hobbs over here saying, when he asked me to, I don't do it. Then Lions say it's clear, and that's how Squirrel got knocked out. Yes, Hobbs, that's exactly how Squirrel got knocked out, and I still have not forgiven you. I'm just saying.
Love to see it. Love to see it.
My former teammate, peoples. My former teammate. So they seem to have a very, very vertical hold here, right? You can see 3 up top, 2 down below. the two down below, there's only one C4 in pocket with Hit Draco. I am not confident about this. I think if you're going to have people below, you need some kind of info gatherer other than just the Echo.
Trying to get that pixel peek on
risky, a very risky prone peek. Loses a lot of health for it. But they don't have the C4, which makes it very tough.
Teammates have been flashed. This is a specialty of mine that I do.
Yes. Yeah. They, you know, playing off those team flashbangs, someone might get caught out here from Draco. He's playing so far off site for this.
This is true. If they
first one down, Comets immediately traded out by Mosey. That is first blood and trade. Hit Draco is rotating back. He has time to work with this. Karma should hear him. There's no way Karma doesn't hear this. He sees the Capcan trap on his ankle, chooses to shoot it, giving away his position 2, does not check the red stairs. Somehow, Draco did not hear the shot, made it back up red stairs, not looking at him. Karma may have a freebie right here. One, does not check 90. Oh, he gets away with it though, as shots are whiffed on 90. Peek from Wolf, traded out, Tiny up 1, and we are now down to a 3v2. Only Mosey and DNA left. DNA low on health, and out of nowhere, Mosey going for a plant. Absolutely no cover for him. And because of that, punished. That's why plants need to have cover. Unlike houseplants that need to have sunlight. We have a 1v2. He should have a little bit of utility in his pocket. 2 smoke nades. Oh, he has claymores, no smokes. That makes it more difficult. He does have very isolated fights. He shouldn't know about, or the Echo knows. He can take this fight. He has to take this fight. The Echo just plays passive behind his shield. Both playing passive. He can't get any picks. He's going to have to swing one or the other, push through this. He would lose all of his health. Down to a sliver. Can he make the shot? He can. That's 1, but he doesn't make it fast enough. And with just the time running out, Blind Bandits takes another one.
Jeez.
If he had made that that push 20 seconds earlier, 15 seconds earlier, there's a good chance he wins that.
Yeah.
Even if he had pushed up earlier when Mosey was going for the plant just to cover him, there's also a good chance that they win that. They have the shield down. He can't be peeked from statue to White Couch door. He has to be swung from in sight. With that breach there, he can cut off the entire site and split. So from that alone, DNA should have been able to cover his teammate. Maybe a little bit of miscommunication between them, as he didn't know the plant was going down, or he was confident that his Osa shield and Asher was more important. Either way, it cost them a round.
Sorry, I'm just sitting here reading chat.
Yeah, Scare over here saying, Hobbs, are we the same person? Because he also trolls me in ranked.
See,
absolutely doesn't drone anything, pushes by himself, and then blames us for not droning him and not trading him.
See, it's the classic Scare thing to do, though. So, and it's everyone else's fault, and that's okay.
Jeff says, solid plant joke. Thank you, thank you. I do enjoy my puns.
Oh, plant joke. I got it. Yeah.
Plant needs cover, unlike house plants.
It just kind of like, whoo, went over my head. I registered it, but I didn't process it.
Sorry, I have a very cringe sense of humor.
Oh, I'm just a cringe person in general, so I got you.
This is a very interesting spawn choice. They have 4 people coming from not really north side or south side, but instead an east side take. And then just Mosey off by himself as the only hard breach. Unless they have secondary hard breach, that is. And just solo pushing on the other side of the map. Now, Mosey is a very skilled player that seems to get his ones, so this may pay off for him.
Promise with the pick on
Unfortunately, I think he just punched the window and got fried from main stairs. So that's just
me.
That's just unfortunate.
That's my luck.
Make sure you guys punch your barricades from the side. Don't stand in front of them when you do it.
But I like to face check windows. Hello?
Right. The biggest thing that messes people up is they forget that after you punch, you gotta go through the whole ADS animation, and with your angle grips nerfed, it's just not a good day. It really isn't. I miss the days that you had the Ember Rise ADS time where it was like 0.1 seconds, and you could just punch and shoot immediately. It was great. So they do have main stairs control. They have study control for the most part, even though there's this Maestro cam that they're gonna have to get rid of with an Ash charge. It appears that they did that. They do not have 90 control. If someone can hold their books and they can open up breach, then this is doable. Unfortunately, they're losing man count early, as I believe he just tried to peek Noob Door with the diffuser in hand, loses it. They're able to recover. It's a 5v3. We have Comets holding a very interesting angle on top bar. No one watching books. Oh, nope. Legion's watching books. And everyone's stacked up either in main stairs or study. This is going to be a one-dimensional push through a single door, and they should just get absolutely overpowered with gun count. It is a 5v3 guns. They're lower on health. Unless Night Owls rotates or pulls off some absolute heroics, this should be a Blind Bandits round. Jay Mosey with a big pick onto 90. Hit Draco a little overextended as he swings it. Polo gets a trade onto Mosey, and we're back to a 4v2. Diffuser is down in books in a very precarious spot. Karma is making big moves in study, though, getting the pick off into Vault. C4 goes out preemptively as they don't know that Diffuser is down. And Rybo rotates over to try and grab this defuse, but it's going to be too little, too late, as he gets the first pick. 1v1. But just misses the trade. He realized that it was too late to try and go for the plant. He had to go for the kill. Swung it just with the shots. It's the Roni, that fast fire rate, doing work onto the head of our fuse.
Roni for the win. Ooh.
The Roni, especially with that skin, top tier gun.
I know.
The white and blue.
I decided to make my Roni all white with a white attachment. Like, it is clean. It's clean.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay, I see it. You gotta make sure it's polished. You gotta make sure it's glistening with all how bright it is. Can you bring up that scoreboard actually?
Yeah, hold on.
Let's take a look at the scoreboard. See what's going on. We're 3-1 on the rounds in. You can see that for the most part, there's a good difference in the type of rounds being taken, whether plants going down, it's diffused, or time's running out, if it's just kills, which is always good to see. You like to see variety in that, and that it's not just kills on one side or the other. The scorelines actually look very even.
Yeah,
top kills at 5 for both sides with Karma and Hit Draco, which I believe is the general performers for both of them. Polo has picked it up immensely since last match, which I was hoping he would, and he has. And so I'm happy to see that everyone else across the team for both sides really look like they're contributing for their own roles and their own positions, no matter what gun they're on or what operator. It seems a very well-balanced team game right now. Happy to see it. See, now they have the Astro hold for anyone that's playing in Statue, anyone that's playing in bathroom or closet to catch that rotate. That's what I like to see. That's also what I would like to see in a trophy hold, but it's okay. We have Tiny rotated all the way down in basement. We actually have a couple of people off-site there playing some interesting places. We have 3 roamers, 2 on site. Unfortunately, Kitchen's one of those sites you can't really flood as easily. Because there is a lot of ways to contest it from above. There's a lot of hatches that they can drop. They can come back through China. Up from basement through pantry. There's a lot of ways to flood back into site to stop a rush. So they kind of have to clear at least a couple of these roamers. They don't need to clear all the way up to 90, but they're taking a fight on 90 as MacD trades a couple of shots with Wandsboro, getting the better of Wandsboro. Wandsboro is making the smart decision to fall back, create an impact rotate, and get himself through a rotate into Astro, or sorry, the AV, hopefully to flank this man that was top red. They do not appear to know that he is up there, and he's going to get a free one onto White Couch, who's still trying to find him a 90. Wansboro with absolutely beautiful movement. Just missed shots from DNA, as Wansboro is still making them chase him. Now, they don't need to overextend here. They do get the pick. It was not necessary, because if you have the top control... Oh, unfortunately, traded out by Karma. But if you have the top control, you don't really need to extend all the way across the map. Instead, you just need to hold the doors for your statue, your White Couch, and your trophy. But without a Nomad, I could see wanting to go for the kills, wanting to get them off the board. That's understandable. We do find ourselves in a 3v2 as the Yin Candelas come out, and this is going to be a flood onto site. Can we get Polo to hide from this? Yes, he can. He is able to get his eyes back, his gun up. They're ready for this rush. They did not actually take any space off of that, though, as now he gets a fight onto a utility user.
Flame is going down.
Smoked off. Planet's going down in the corner by the couch, and Karma just walks straight through China, gets the frag onto Polo, and now it's all of Tiny Taco. Stuck in the corner, and he dies to Rybo as a 3-man pinch comes in. He is very little to no choice in the matter of living there.
That plant was successful, wasn't it? Yes?
It was, yes. That was a successful plant. It got down. It was a post plant as they pinched out the last guy. Very well played by Night Owls. As I said a little earlier, I think they got a little greedy. They overextended a bit, but in the end, they got the picks that was needed. They got the man advantage. They decided to ying out and flood site, and it worked. Polo got smoked off. He was stuck in that smoke when Karma runs through China, catches him while he's still vision blurry from the smoke. And so that fight is completely in the advantage of attack. And from there, it's a 3v1. It's basically over. Like, you have to pull some massive gun skill if you want to win in that position that Tiny was at.
I had a point to make, and I have to remember what it was. So I wouldn't presume that them flushing out that roamer up top was greedy. Maybe more attempt at being thorough, because if they took information from the first map with Blind Bandits that they have strong roamers who flank last minute back to side, and why wouldn't the enemy team have that too, right? So
sure,
and I know, like, this has happened to, like, my team too, where we will ignore a roamer because they're not immediately a threat, but they end up screwing us in the end, or being a challenge when we execute site because we weren't thorough enough in clearing them out. Because timing, practicing
you're accurate you're accurate for the most part, in the sense that they can punish you later. The problem is they can also punish you now if you chase them, right? Because they didn't have an active drone on him, which means that you're pushing into a situation that you don't know what the utility looks like. You don't know if he had a support, which he did, because he had the other person playing in study, right? He could have just fallen back to study and played off of his teammate, and it's a 2v1 for anyone that peeks them, and that can punish them immensely, right? Like, you're overextending into an area that you don't have info on. And for that reason, it's safer to not, right? If it was just like they could guarantee it was a single person roaming up top, then yeah, chase them down, get the kill, get them off the board, make sure that they're not thrown in the back later. But if you don't have that info, you don't want to push out, especially when you're at a man disadvantage, as they were. So anyway, we're on a trophy hold. This is the same hold that they did last time, and we're able to win it. They do have Night Owls do have Karma on the rappel this time for Astro, but unfortunately no one's playing in Bathroom, so he doesn't catch any of those rotates. I am interested to see how the defense is going to play this, actually, because they don't have bottom control. Tiny is playing a very precarious spot here on Astro stairs as he pushes up trying to take fights. He has someone both above him and below him that should be caught out.
I was gonna say,
Tiny, oh, Tiny wins that fight. How do you win that fight? Rybo had his gun up. Tiny was in a full sprint animation and still somehow won. gets over aggressive. Polo catches the rotate. Comets trades it out, and now we're in a 4v1 in favor of Blind Bandits, and just like that is all over in favor of Blind Bandits.
All right.
Honestly, that happened so fast. I'm not even sure exactly what happened. I was gonna say, like, you know, the defense had a very lateral setup this time, as opposed to what they had last time, where it was vertical. Right, they had 2 people below, 1 was C4, and 3 people above. So you had to clear out the people below first. This one had a very lateral setup, so you're taking 1v1s across the map, right? And somehow, when he rotated down to get that vertical, they already had the bottom, and he still wins the fight. He tries to rotate even farther to come back up red. Unfortunately, he gets picked out. And from there, everything just goes in the way of Blind Bandits. They win fights across the map and somehow just absolutely dominate the scoreboard. I don't know what happened, but it was impressive to watch.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
So there's still no standout performances on either team. You know, we do have kill leaders. They only appear to be 3 to 4 kills above. That's pretty standard, especially for Pro League. And so as I'm looking at this, both teams are very much contributing to the entire performance of their team. There's no underperformers or overperformers that are worth note. And as we go into the second half, 4-2 in favor of Blind Bandits, I'm actually thinking this might be a very close, another overtime match. Villa tends to be attacker-sided in Pro League and even ranked a lot of times, but in Pro League specifically, a very defender-sided map. And so taking a 4-2 is expected. I'm not surprised if Night Owls do the exact same on their half, 6-6. Simon says, I think they did well in the pinch. I think that was referring to the Vigil pinch about 2 rounds ago.
Yes, when they were on bottom.
They did all right, I think. I don't agree with the play to start, but it did work. I can't argue with that. It was a very effective play, if not the one that I would have made.
I think it's interesting they're opting to go direct with a full 5.
It is, especially since they didn't put anyone below to clear out main.
I was gonna say,
they're running across one at a time without clearing DNA on his shield on main. This puts them into what I would consider a kill box, right? Because as soon as that breach opens, you now have nowhere safe to play. You have to watch your AV door, you have to watch your main stairs, and you have to watch your breach. They have no map control. But I'm curious, maybe they're going to do a last second rotate down, or they're just going to rely on their gun skill and win this out. The prone peek. The infamous prone peek. Oh, he should be able to see a shoulder here. Nomad, if he's watching for it, with the right angle, he might be able to see a shoulder here. Yeah, he can see it. Look, you can see the elbow is sticking out on the bottom left of his screen. He's not shooting it. That's a head, and he's just not shooting it. Oh, Polo.
Oh, that's so close.
It was so close.
Oh, his shoulder's right there, Polo.
Please. He's just missing the shots. DNA is so low, though. As I believe he did take at least 1 or 2 of those shots to the shoulder. The ARX doing so much damage. It is a 4v3 now. As 3v3 as MacD is downed and confirmed. Draco doing work on that Finka.
Right, but he's gonna get aggressive. Oh my god.
And he wins the fight on breach. Untraded, he's gonna push all the way back through the site, exposing himself to a lot of angles.
That's scary.
But somehow completely unkilled. Uncontested.
See, they have
trying to win this fight on 90.
They can play time here.
They can play time. They have man advantage, if not health advantage. So Polo and Draco have to push into these angles. If they can set up any crossfires at all, this is a very winnable round. C4 should go out. That should get it.
Oh no! It
does not get it.
It doesn't deny. It doesn't
Draco's
deny.
waiting for the stim. The stim does not come through. Traded out and is all over in favor of Night Owls. I think I'm not sure what was happening with Draco there. I think either he used his stims early, or it was on cooldown because he was not able to pick himself
how
up,
many does
which is
Finka
really
get?
unfortunate. 3.
3. So
Yeah,
I know
I saw
they
at
used
least one go out. Yeah.
Well, how long is the cooldown?
So cooldown, if I'm not mistaken, is 20 seconds.
Well, then he should have had plenty of time to use it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Unless he used
I
them
don't know
all
either.
at some point.
I thought he would have one up, which is why I was like he's waiting for the stim, but stim didn't come. I know I have at least one time forgotten I was Finka and just didn't stim myself. So maybe something like that happened. Not sure. You know, mistakes happen. It's a wild round. So in the chat, I'm seeing stuff that says, to be honest, in my opinion, I would have traded Valk for Echo on the ban. Yeah, I think Valk and Echo are they're both Intel ops, right? They're very very comparable. Echo, because of his nerfs with the cloaking, is less effective now, in my opinion. Because Valk has that C4, which he doesn't have, so you can play off the intel easier, and she also has 3 cams instead of 2. The one thing that Echo does bring is that you can move your cams, right? So they're very comparable. It depends on like what you're comfortable with. For a big map like Villa, I generally prefer the 3 cams, even if you can move the 2 cams. But that's very much just what's in the meta, what you're feeling, that kind of stuff. What they could do is rush into site and plant because 3 roamers. Yes, that's true, but you have to worry about your retakes, right? Mm-hmm. If you take into the site really quickly and get a plant down, then that is effective, assuming you can get into a good post plant position. Because otherwise, you also just get like pinched out. Someone starts taking defuse, you have to peek it, and they have 4 guns on you.
That's also where like planting where you know is gonna be a spot that you can cover from somewhere safe, taking advantage of having the nomad on the board for audio cues and using the claymores actively.
You also have to keep in mind, right? Like as soon as the call plants going down comes out, every roamer's running back to site, right? And at that point, you're getting swung from every angle, and it is absolute chaos. And so you have to be ready and in a position to do that. So if you don't have the map control for that, it can be kind of difficult. But it's a valid point.
Ooh.
A lot of times Ooh. That is a nice shot from Polo onto Karma, who's playing, like I said, that very aggressive and dangerous position on Astro Stairs. I want to say that was a Capcan trap, maybe. No. Yeah, Capcan trap.
Oh.
Because MacD's up. Okay, Capcan doing work, traded out on Polo. We do have man advantage towards Blind Bandits, and that is evened out 3-3. The first Finka boost came out. I believe that was the first one. I didn't see another one come out yet. Yeah. Second Finka boost comes out. And now it's a 3v2. 2v1 actually, as MacD is the only one left alive in Trophy with the 1.5 on Capcan. He has Diffuser down. This is 100% winnable even though he doesn't know it. He has man advantage, 45 seconds to try and burn on this clock, and they have the Yana clone coming in to try and get info on him. Ooh, look to your left. Unfortunately, caught in the middle of statue, has nowhere to hide. They have the info on him, gets swung by hit Draco, and it's over.
Oh boy. Gotta love those refrags on the Yana clones.
Yeah. Yeah, the Yana clone came in clutch there. That was 100% the right call. When you're in a 2v1 and you have time to work with, especially 45 seconds, which is a lot in a clutch situation, best thing you can do, get a drone out there. One person covers the droner as he did, wait for the intel, and try and get an idea as to where this guy is. If you don't have a drone, you have to go in for the trades, but you don't want to give them that opportunity to fight their way back into the round if you don't have to. So trading out a drone, trading out a Yana clone, something like that, to give you intel instead of trading out a body is always preferable.
Opting to run it back. I don't know how you feel about running a site back after losing it. But like with my guys, like if it's something to where it's down to the wire and it's just the ones that get us, right? The reason why we lost the site, not the setup or not the play that we did, then I would opt for running it back, because at least we know that it took the attack so long to push site. We just have to hold our ones and get our gunfights and be, you know, a little more vigilant on answering the calls and things like that, right?
Right. See, when it comes to running it back, it's very much a team decision as to what you're comfortable with. If you don't have a comfortable tertiary site, you have to, right? But if you do, even a partially comfortable tertiary site, because the enemy team doesn't normally practice attacking tertiary sites, then you should, in my opinion, always do a site rotation triplet, right? So you do 1, 2, 3, and then come back to the first. The reason for that, if you double up and you lose it a second time, right? You put all your eggs in one basket, you lose it a second time, then if you win the other 2 sites, you are forced to come back to the site that you've already lost twice on your match point. And that is never preferable, because you're playing a site that you know you have a good chance of losing and that they play well, compared to playing a site that they probably don't practice as much, and you have still a 50-50 chance as to whether you can make it. And you know, they don't know your strats yet, and there's a lot more benefit there, I think, in doing a site triplet. Back to the round though, we already have 2 people off the board, as Tiny Taco and Comets making a real fast entry, hitting some insane shots onto both Mosey and DNA. That's 2 of their anchors, their hard anchors, down. Karma's playing the same aggressive angle onto Astro Stairs that I had mentioned earlier. He doesn't have a ADS. They're not throwing nades his way. He might be able to pick up one here. He's going to see the head. But just as he does, Comets sees the reverse angle, shoots him in the top of the head. And it is down to a 5v2. 5v1, as I say that. Tiny Taco going massive this round. The little pop shots coming out. Hits a nasty shot onto Trophy. Sees one to rotate. Can't quite control it. Does see the head there. The one tap by Rybo. But unfortunately traded out, as they have the information that he's on White Couch. In a 5v1, the attack elected to, instead of droning him out, instead of, you know, chasing him down, just trade bodies. They played off of each other. They waited until he peaked one of them. Even if they, you know, 1, 2, or even 3 of them die to him, you're getting active information as to where he's moving to, and they're just trading off of each other. And that's good team gameplay. And now Blind Bandits is up 6-3 on their opponent's map. So the real question is, Amber, do you think that Night Owls can do what Blind Bandits did and make that 6-3 comeback on their enemy's chosen map?
I really wouldn't be surprised if it happened, honestly. Because if anything, this season's majors has been like very unpredictable, and so I think it's very possible that Night Owls can bring it to OT again.
So just like last map, right, with Blind Bandits down that 3-round deficit, they have to win on defense a primary, secondary, and tertiary site. Now, we haven't seen Night Owl's tertiary site yet, which I assume would be kitchen. For some people, it's living room, but I generally play kitchen. Most teams do, I believe. So it's going to be a very interesting turn of events if they're able to win all 3 sites in a row and show us something that they haven't been able to do yet on Trophy, which is win a round on that secondary site. So they're also opting for a direct take, which I believe is what they did last time as well. You see, Wansboro is going below to clear that guy off of main stairs, as well as check for anyone that's playing a C4, anyone that's playing utility below. A very smart decision on their part. Even if it's just him holding a drone down there and ready to catch him on the rotate, it's a valuable person to have. And something that Night Owls was missing. Karma's putting vertical angles on the door here, and if Yana's not aware of it, may get caught off guard when she tries to cross. Still a 5v5. No kills have come up, but they do have study control. Defense basically gave it to them as the mainstairs backed off. So the real question is, what can they do now that they have study control?
Might
They
be ready
lost the
for a
control
nitro
downstairs.
call.
Oh, it's about to...
Oh,
Yep. Gets caught on main door.
unfortunate.
Exactly as I said, if you have that drone down there and he's waiting for the rotate, that is still a valuable player to have up. But they don't know that there's one in Harry Potter. Can they find him? Unfortunately, it's traded out, and we're back to a 4v4. They still have study control. They have a breach in a bar, which is the generally preferred wall to open up. And now, as long as someone is holding the AV door and someone is holding below, they can try and take this fight onto bar, get a plant down behind the bar, and only watching for C4s.
Oh, I hate when that happens with my nomads. I hate that. You can't pick them up. Oh, it makes me so mad.
Oh, yeah. A lot of times I just shoot them. They get in my way.
Ooh.
Oh, just
The
outswung by
teabag.
Karma. little teabag BM coming from Karma. He's going to get aggressive on this breach. There's one close.
Ooh.
He does not win the fight as the Storm just doesn't have the damage power on the
Plant
body.
is going down.
MacD gets a freebie on main stairs, is in a 2v1, doesn't know about the crosshair. Maybe he does. He's playing passive. There's one unstudy. He takes the fight.
Oh,
And wins it anyway. MacD pulling some amazing heroics. He has 30 seconds left on the defuse, 7 seconds to defuse. Last one is top red. Can he pull this off? Just a sliver of HP, a C4 in pocket. He may be able to throw this C4 to either bait or to cover as he tries to go for defuse. But we have to wait. Oh no, his mouse died.
he's moving now.
His mouse did not die. Hitdraco is trying to trick MacD. Unfortunately,
Oh.
Mac ran out of time,
Oh.
either guessing the either reading the chat or just trying to find him and study, not realizing that in order to cover that plant, you have to stay on top red. That is unfortunate.
Wow.
And with that, Blind Bandits finishes the series 2-0 with a very convincing second map of 7-3 on Night Owl's chosen map.
Uh-oh. Sorry, we're having difficulties here with the stream.
Oh, are we?
No, it just wasn't working. But yes. Okay. Again, I am still processing what just happened.
Well, the series closed out. Blind Bandits
Yes.
had an insane run, especially like the comeback on the first map to the very convincing 7-3 on the second map, only dropping one defensive round in their final push to the top.
Yeah, I was kind of holding out for the potential overtime again, just because it would have been really interesting to see like maps back to back do that. But I mean, where does that put? Let me pull the bracket again. So with the bracket, let me share this so you can see the bracket.
Oh, I would very much appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes. Here we go. Okay. So.
All right. So yeah, as we're looking at this double elimination tournament, right? They are already in the losers bracket, which means that Night Owls has been kicked out, and unfortunately are going home. They're our first team to go home. Blind Bandits advances and is going to be facing the winner of Row Ice or Vivid Polar. Whoever wins that match will be facing the winner of, the loser of Conspiracy and Puppies and Kittens in order to get to the lower bracket finals. This is going to be a long haul if you're in the lower bracket, right?
Yeah.
Upper bracket, they only have one more game till they're in the finals. Lower bracket, they have to win not just the one that they did, but two additional matches in order to make it to that grand finals and win this major. So it's already a hard fight. We're gonna see who can do it, but really the only way to keep up is to watch Roias versus Vivid Polar coming up in a couple of days.
Just to confirm, might be a little confusion in chat. It is Night Owls who are officially out of the running.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I said Night Owls were out.
No. In chat.
Oh, okay.
Just clarifying for them.
Yeah.
So Night Owls are out. Blind Bandit plays the winner of Roias and Vivid Polar. To summarize, in the foreseen future, the only game that is scheduled as of now is on the 19th at 8 p.m. CST for Team Conspiracy versus Puppies and Kittens. I'll be there. Hope y'all will be there, because, I have no choice but to be there.
I hope you're there. If you're not there, then, the team's in a 4v5, and I don't want to see that in the major.
No, we're not. We're going to try to do full rosters for the rest of the season.
I am looking forward to the matchup of at least 3, if not 4, of the former Chicos Locos team.
Los Chicos.
Yeah, Los Chicos. Team that were the champions last season. So now they're gonna be facing off against each other.
It's interesting, and it's kind of like heart churning in a way, because they're my team from last season,
team. Yeah.
And now it's funny because we all know each other's weaknesses and things like that, or our strong points. So it's very
Hobbs versus you at least, either way, there's a good chance, especially since you are both in the upper bracket, there's a good chance that this season is going to have a repeat winner from last year. A repeat player winner, not a repeat team winner.
But honestly, if it's a Los Chicos boy that gets a second trophy, I ain't gonna complain. I won't be proud.
Hey, sometimes you gotta hang on to your past achievements. It is what it is.
It is what it is. Well, we probably shouldn't keep Bro League much longer. It is getting late. Y'all be there or be square. GG's.
Well played to both teams.
That will be a good night, Bro League. Bye-bye.